I'm not making any money. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use. Fair use. Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Ba'asham Rakam Badash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles in Connecticut, the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching the truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And it says UK News website of the year 2024. The Telegraph, right? It says the Telegraph, the Houthis attack Red Sea tanker, right? So the Houthis have defeated, it's like the U.S. Navy. Whoa, that's big news. That's big news. The Houthis have defeated the U.S. Navy, right? Right, so this is the downfall of Esau's kingdom, right? Right, you Edomites are not, you're on your way down, basically, right? People are not, these other nations are not afraid of you anymore. But the EU and France haven't given up. They're still fighting for freedom, right? See, so that's dealing with, because the U.S. and NATO is the beast, and the U.S. is the whore that ride upon the beast, right? In Revelations, right? This is it's Operation Prosperity Guard, see, and they're supposed to be there to be a guard unto this, like just like Gog of Magog is supposed to be a guard unto these other nations. So, but obviously America is doing a not so good of a job protecting of being a guard unto these other nations, right? So it says, they're supposed to be Operation Prosperity Guard, OPG, was set up in December 20th, 2023 in response to the Houthis attacking commercial ships passing through the southern Red Sea. Yeah, the aim was to provide a unified international front that would deter the Houthis from further attacks and assure the shipping companies who, due to recent of risk and associated insurance costs, were already starting to take the long route around the Cape for Good Hope. Yeah, it says the problem was it didn't work, right? The problem was it didn't work. The Houthis were not deterred and continued taking pot shots at anyone and anything for ships with the most tenuous links to Israel, right? So, hey, anything linked to the U.S. or Israel, they're popping shots at these ships, right? Sinking them, right? And then the U.S. is there, meant to be there to be a guard, right? But it said up there, it said they defeated, the Houthis defeated the U.S. Navy, right? So they're not being a great guard unto this. So it's not helping at all, right? So it says from ships with the most tenuous links to Israel to Iranian gain carriers to Russian dark fleet oilers for relatively little effort and money, they achieved their desire in right where they were going. They basically, the Houthis let them go through, gave them, gave them a little bit of money. It wasn't a big amount. As long as they were Iranian or they were Russian, they said, hey, just give me a little bit of money and you'll make it through. You'll get to your end that you need to go to. And we're gonna basically, they ain't shooting at those ships. Only U.S. and Israeli, right? So it says states of improved location influence and challenging international ships almost immediately their line that they would stop if there were a ceasefire in Gaza, convinced only a few. But you so-called did a so-called ceasefire, but then you started firing again. So are you surprised that they went back to shooting just because you said it's a ceasefire? You think because the word ceasefire means we don't have to do it once we see you firing again? No, yeah, you said ceasefire. You stopped for a day, maybe. You started firing again. So once you started firing again, of course, we start shooting back at your ships again. Why is that amazement? Look, they said they were going to do that once we said ceasefire, but here they are again. They're back at it. They defeated the U.S. Navy. They said they were going to do it, but they're liars. Well, you're the main objective to being the liar, right? You started right back shooting, right? So this is basically showing you the route that they have to go through, because it saves time and money being able to go through this route right through the Red Sea over into Europe instead of going down through the Cape of Africa, right, where they said that these are really rough waters, right, which our brothers had to go through to get to America, to Arzareth. But those are really rough waters, and this is the time that you're saying you have ships, you got motors and all that other type of things. Yeah, it take a little bit longer, but hey, build a faster motor. And it wouldn't really matter. You know, you're supposed to have all this technology, right? You know? Yeah, so it can keep going, and it says this led to Operation Poseidon Archer starting in January 2024 with the U.S. and UK counter strikers on Houthis targets, but as Saudi Arabia provided between 2015 and 2023 and repeatedly told U.S. trying to disable the Houthis by kinetic strikes is like punching smoke, and so it is provided. Right? It says none of those effects were helped when the EU formed a splinter coalition called Ap, Abstin, absence, so as not to associate with the U.S. posture in Israel. The West's inability to agree. Right. This is a thing. Speaking to the scriptures where it says that where's thy wisdom teeming, right? The Esau's lost his wisdom, right? Because it says that the West's inability to agree, right? Dealing with NATO and America, they can't get on the same wavelength, right? Though they're supposed to be doing the same task, they can't get on the same wavelength to agree how to perform a relatively basic task. The basic thing is to protect the ship. That's it. It don't have to be, you know, it don't have to be anything. It just needs to be protected by any means necessary. Protect the ship, right? It doesn't need it. It's just a basic thing. Protect the ship, and they can't agree to that on a basic task, right? Which is getting into Esau's lost his wisdom, right? It says it did not go unnoticed by potential adversaries. So the Houthi recognized it. What's the other one? Yemen. The people in Yemen recognized it, right? So all these different rebels, right? Because I think they even got some of them Somalians, right? Somalian pirates. They recognize it, right? And this is a great opportunity for some of those other places, like especially like the little Somalian who don't have a lot of money, that they can capitalize on. And we'll keep striking down your ships. You just gotta give us some money. We'll keep striking down your ships until you call a ceasefire in Gaza. However it may go, you know what I mean? But we can see there's a weakness in what you're doing, right? It hasn't gone unnoticed by potential adversaries. It was certainly noticed by the shipping companies we were trying to reassure. See, they were supposed to be reassuring them, hey, look, you can still push your ships through here. We got you. We're talking about the U.S. government, man. We got the U.S. military, the best military out there. We got you. Not to mention, we got France. what did they say? France and yeah, you got the UK. But they specifically said France and somebody else. Let's see where was that. I don't know if I. Let's see. Slovakia. I know they said it. They said it in here somewhere. But yeah, they basically, they got all these different so-called militaries. Operation this, operation that with these people dealing with the UK, the EU. You will feel like these people will be able to reassure these people that and not just reassure, actually follow it through. Yeah, it says right here since January, right? Because remember that's when they so-called started their task force, right? Because that's what it was saying up there. Uh, yeah, see right here, the Operation Poseidon started in January 2024. So since January, not only have the attacks steadily increased in number, they have diversified too. Drones, what? Cruise missiles were accomplished by hijackers and ballistic missiles. God damn. April saw the first use of surface drones, and there has been a steady increase in this method since. God damn. They had Scud missiles and cruise missiles and ballistic missiles, drones. They just, hey, look, they stopped just hijacking it. Yeah, because you go in there, hijack, they'll come surround the thing, they'll jump on there, bring out their team, shoot you down. Esau's good at shooting you long range or whatever. So hey, look, we'll just shoot these things from far away. We'll just use drones. We'll use something else, and it's just increase, and it's different every time. So they don't even know how they're gonna attack it now, right? Right. So hey, man, they just doing it different ways. You know what I mean? Hey, matter of fact, look at this one right here. Look what it says right here. It said recently the Houthis have started following up their attacks with small arm fire from fast boats. So they're going by doing like basically like a drive-by on the boat, on the like really super fast boats. So you don't know what they're coming with. They're gonna do a drive-by on the boat with a speedboat. They're gonna use a goddamn cruise missile, a ballistic missile. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how they coming, man. Surface drones. They just doing. Hey, man, that is crazy. So, yeah, recently they started to basically drive-bys. Recently, the Houthis have started following up their attacks with small arm fire from fast boats, and the last following week have seen more amount of attacks increase above what was the average of 2.5 a week. So it's increased. So it's above 2.5. So you're talking about three point something, a 4 point something, or 3.5%. is increased, right? Just attack after attack after attack. But on the contrary to something that has no affiliation with Israel or the U.S., hey, it's just a small fee. Give us a small little fee, and you can make it through, and you're good, right? Until they do a ceasefire in Gaza. And don't give me a bull BS ceasefire, man. All right? So what that's telling you is that they're showing you how this is gonna be, this thing is gonna affect the economy. It's gonna affect as far as money, right? Yeah. So this is Nahum 3, and I showed you that video in the beginning just to show you how many on so many different fronts that Esau's been attacked on ground level, and we're talking even the articles talking about on the sea. So they're constantly being attacked. So it says, "Behold," which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. Thy people in the midst of thee are women, man. Hey, that's what this is, man. This is an androgynous society. You know, Pink City. You know what I mean? Parades, you know, pride parades, right? They're just women, man. The gates of thy land shall be set open unto thy enemies, right? And see, and only women, right, don't know what to do. The one of the things in the article said, on a basic task, they can't agree on what's the best way to defend these ships. And only a woman don't know what she really wants, right? Right? A woman's always, because she want everything. You know what I mean? She want everything all at once, but you know, priorities should take place before all the things that you want to happen, or you want this, or you want that. Priorities have to take place, man. We can get to that later. We can get to what you want later. Let's take care of the priorities first, right? And then your priority would have been just being a guard unto these ships. But Russia, right? Gog in the land of Magog, right? Is protecting quite well, right? They're being a guard unto Iran. And then now you got other small little groups. As you could see, you have Hamas from the first video I showed, and now you have the Houthis, right? And they're defending. They're being a guard unto that, right? So, you know, only women don't know what they want or what they're trying to do. So you see now your enemy, your gates are wide open unto thy enemies. The fire shall devour thy bars, right? And bars are what? For protection. And you're there to so-called protect these, but it's not working. It said that the Houthis have defeated the U.S. Navy, man. You know, people brag about how great the Navy is, how hard it is to become a Navy officer, a Navy what is it called? You know, I don't know what you call it in the military, whatever it's called, but you know, to be part of the Navy, how difficult it is for you to get involved and to be even a part of that, to be in those ships, to call yourself an officer, right, of any level. It's highly difficult. But you mean these rebels that out in the desert who's not had the so-called education that you have, because you're in this first world country and you're this and you're that and you're that and you're this, right? And you're all that. Your bar, the fire devoured your bars, right? You're the way you're guarding this, and you're being defeated, right? Draw thy waters from the siege, and now you're being attacked. You're under siege, right? Fortify thy stronghold. See, hey man, make your strongholds a little stronger. That's what you're supposed to be there for. You're supposed to be there to be a guard unto them, right? Right? Make your strongholds stronger. Go unto clay and treat the mortar. Make strong the bricklings, right? You're supposed to be, your military, it should be stronger than what it is. Your Navy should be a lot stronger than what it is, right? You need to get some better men. So they're not women, right? But in this case, they're supposed to be men, but they're just women, man. That's all it is. And then they bicker and complain about how they're supposed to do it, right? But the Lord is showing the decay of Esau Edom, man, right? Because this is Nahum 3. This is woe to the bloody city, and that's America. Babylon the Great is woe to the bloody city, man. Destruction, weeping and gnashing of teeth, man. This is what's gonna happen to this place, man. You're getting a small dose of it now, which you ain't got the full brunt of it yet. Which you have to push that MOTB first, right? On a high level, where they're gonna cause everyone to receive a mark, right? Which means you have to accept it. But causing it means they're gonna do basically what they were doing in the CV19, where they went to the companies, right? Because hey, on one aspect, the IUIC is kind of correct. It went to the companies, but it did go to the companies. But who sanctioned the companies? The government sanctioned the companies, saying you violate this and you violate that by not doing this. So then the company has to either shut down, or they'll have to apply to the government's what do we call it? Penal codes or whatever it's called, section codes, whatever kind of codes that they just made up, right? Saying it's a health threat, this and that, which they're gonna do that, right? Because the government tried to, so it's gonna be like, hey, we're not the one that's doing it. We're not saying we're not the ones that's doing it, but then you're putting the hegemony, you're putting the pressure upon these businesses to do it, which they're already starting to do it now in New York. I guess a lot of those New York restaurants built outside seatings. So now they're saying, hey, you have to come to us and make it legal, and we'll determine if you're in the right zone to say that it's legal for you to have that. But when CV19 came out, there was no regulations on having outside seating. So now they're saying, hey, look, you got to have this outside seating, and it needs to be regulated by us. So on one aspect, you are right that it's coming from the government. It's going to come from the government pushing these things, but it's going to come from all things. You know what I mean? Problem, reaction, and then solution. Right? Pressure from above, pressure from beneath. This is how you get that pressure. Right? That's when you start making the businesses, and then you got to bring the schools involved. So now it's like, oh, I can't go to work. The kids can't go to school. But I need to go to work, and the kids need to go to school. Right? So you're gonna give in to the whole thing. That's why I keep trying to tell my wife, hey man, you gotta come into the mentality that school ain't all that important, man. Right? You gonna learn. Hey, you don't learn much at school anyway. But there shall be fire. There shall the fire devour thee, right? And that's what's happening right now. Devouring your ships, all these different things. The sword, right? Which is modern day gun is a sword, or missiles, what they have. Ballistic missiles. What they said, drones. Interface drones. What they say, ballistic missiles. There was another one too that it was saying. It's not coming to me right now. But was it Scud missiles or something like that? It said something like that, yeah. But they're coming on different attacks. They're using fast boats, driving by, shooting. You know what I mean? Having all sorts of things. The modern day sword is the gun. Shall cut thee off, man, and they're cutting off your way of supply, your way to get to your because you're a merchant place, you're a merchant city, right? This is all about commerce. Let's get this over to Europe so you can make such X amount of dollars, or so you can not make such X of dollars. You know what I mean? Because who knows if you're not protecting it up to your potential on purpose in order to hurt the economy, right? And all to stage this and say, hey, this is why we have to bring in the digital dollar, or this is what inflation is like, and this is what this is like, and this is what this is for. And now we have to do this. So now you're going to increase the taxes. You're going to increase that. You're going to increase saying you have to come up with more better weapons and this and that to defeat these guys. And you're going to increase the people's money. And then the economy is going to collapse, right? All for you to bring in the MOTB. So we know that that's what these things are all about, right? So it says, yeah, but regardless, on the surface or whatever, it's cutting off your money. Cut off shall cut thee off, right? From your money, from all your things in your merchant city. And shall eat thee up like the canker worm, right? Make thyself many as the canker worm, right? Because you've been in your different militaries, the U.S., the U.K., France, England, Spain, whatever the other European nations, you know what I mean? Plus the U.S., all these different allies that they so-called have, but you don't really have, right? Like Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is supposed to be your ally, but they're telling you, hey, look, you can't beat them. You trying to defeat them is like punching at the smoke, man. They're everywhere. They're everywhere but nowhere. These guys, hey, man. Shit. So it says, it said, make thyself many as the cankerworm, right? Get your military up, get your so-called defense up, but it's not working. Make thyself many as the locust, right? Thus has multiplied thy merchant. See, you're a merchant city. So let's keep on going. Let's find a way we can get it through the Red Sea, over to Europe, over to America, over to this place, over to this place. We got all these different things, your commerce, your merchants, your things that you're gonna make your money off of, and what was it? Operation Prosperity or something like that. I forgot already because it's just ridiculous. Operation Prosperity Defense, but you're not defending your prosperity, right? You're doing a very poor job of defending your prosperity, your merchant. Above the stars of heaven, the cankerworms, because that's thus has multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. So that's all you're ultimately worried about, man. Everything's about trade, sell. Hey, and part of your trade and sell is even people, man. Above the stars of heaven, the Israelites are technically the stars of heaven, and part of your trading is human trafficking, right? I mean, you don't really say it much, right? But that's your biggest money maker. You're talking in the trillions, right? It's your biggest thing, trading slaves and organs, right? Human, trading organs and all these different things. Salakia, cankerworms spoileth, and flieth away. See, and everything that you've been working for, it's ultimately the thing is spoiling, and flieth away, man. It's not it's not sustaining you the way it was. So of course you have to go for the MOTB, right? Of course you have to push the MOTB because the next commodity or the next thing to own or to buy and sell will be everyone, right? Because if that's your top business, the whole world needs to be under that vibration of having the charagma, right? It says thy crowned are as the locust, right? See, now the Lord is dethroning you, right? Right, the locust eats up everything, so now your crown is being eaten up, right? You're being dethroned. Thy captains, right? Because that's what you're supposed to be out there on these ships and this and that, and your so-called military. Thy captains are as the grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges in the cold day, but when the sun arises, right, they flee away, and there is no place there, and their place is not known where they are, right? So you're just getting destroyed out there, man, right? Because what it says, thy shepherd slumber, right? Like goes into what your wise men and teamen, right? The people who's supposed to be, making these top decisions and creating all these different inventions and all these different things that's supposed to get you out. That's why the Lord said, go ahead, may use your soothsayers and your monthly prognosticators and your stargazers and see if that can defend you, see if that will help you, right? Because your wisdom, right? Thy shepherd slumber. Yeah, it's your sleep. You don't have no wisdom. O king of Assyria, thy nobles, Salakia, thy nobles shall dwell in dust. See, confusion, man. Your wise men and teaming, man. That's gotten nothing but confusion. They're in dust, right? The wisdom is gone, right? Thy people is scattered upon the mountains, and no man gathereth them, right? And that's ultimately what's going to happen, man. You're going to be chased, and no man is going to gather you. No one's going to protect you, right? Yes. So Obadiah chapter 1 verse 8 shall not in that day, right? And we're in that day. We're in the day of Yahweh's judgment, right? We're in the day of Jacob's trouble. We're in the day of the Lord's visitation. The Lord says he'll visit the place where he had made, right? He's visiting the iniquities of the people and the children and the heathen that he made, right? Right? So it says, saith Yahweh, right? All caps. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, even destroy the wisdom, right? So now he's coming to visit you. Even destroy the wise men, which is another way of saying wisdom, but wise men out of Teman, out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, right? Dealing with the entire Edomite culture, the whole Edomite society, the mount, said all of Esau, right? So even Russia, the Lord's taking the understanding even out of them, right? The wise men out of them, but definitely you can see it under the so-called U.S. and UK, because they can't even decide how to protect the ships. Even there, whoever wrote this said it's a basic task, and they can't handle it. Right? You can't handle the truth, right? They can't handle it. It says and thy mighty men, right? Because it's supposed to be the military men, the Navy, the mighty men are supposed to be out there protecting this, right? Thy mighty men, O Timon, shall be dismayed, and that's ultimately what's happening out there right now. You're talking about people who's supposed to be not as smart as you, not as military, as in, I guess, developed or inclined or equipped, however you want to say it, as you, but they're leaving you dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter, right? And that's ultimately what's happening, man. There's a day that's going to become that everyone in the mount of Esau is going to be cut off by slaughter. So slowly but surely that crown is being devoured. You're on top, but you're not the top dog anymore. Have become weak as we? Right? Yeah, so this is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 7, concerning Edom, right? Esau, Edom, right? The bloody city, who you are, right? The main part is Babylon the Great, but all of Edom they're bloody people, man. All these Edomites are very bloody people, right? And you established your city by blood. Russia was established by blood. All of Europe was established by blood. South Africa was established by blood. When you established Hong Kong, I mean, even though you so-called gave it back, right, in some type of capacity, it still was established by blood. Australia was established by blood. So you're a bloody people. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, right, which means armies. The Lord can make anything his army, right, is wisdom, right, wise. Like I said, wisdom is another way of saying wise. We'll restore the wise men out of Teman, but the wisdom is the wisdom no more in Teman, right? So the Lord's going to take that wisdom or the wise men from out of it, right? Is counsel perished? So y'all supposed to be talking about these skirmishes and having a good counsel and how to defeat these people. But really, the U.S. Navy is defeated by the Houthis, right? These people shouldn't be advanced as you, right? They should have the skills, the level that you have, and advanced technology, or just it didn't even have to be advanced technology. You should be able to use a very basic guns and weapon and know how to destroy these people, know how to completely defend these ships or whatever you're supposed to be so-called doing, right? But the Lord is destroying all that, man. Is counsel perish from the prudent? See, now you're not astute. You're not. Ain't you supposed to be the scholars? America has more war ever than any other place. They've had very few years of freedom. Since America existed, all it's ever been is in war. So you mean you're not prudent, you're not astute to what war is about and how to go about warfares, right? Is their wisdom vanished? Wait a minute, they military ain't up to par no more like that. You let the Houthis beat you, man? Is your wisdom vanished? You don't got it like that no more? It must have vanished, right? But the Lord is doing it to you ultimately. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamities of Esau upon him in the time that I will visit him. See, and the Lord it's that time that the Lord is coming to visit you, man. Right? Right. So this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 10. It says, all they shall spake and say unto thee are thus become weak as we. Wait, the Houthis can defeat the U.S. Navy, this fully equipped Edomite supremacy military, top of the world military. No one can beat them. No one, right? At one point in time, it was who can make war with thee, right? Everybody was afraid. You dropped the bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Everybody was afraid who can make war with you. But now these other places, they have nuclear capabilities too. Matter of fact, Russia and China, even though Russia is Edomites too, but they must have created their thing before the Lord started taking the wisdom out of Teman. Right? So they have their hypersonic missiles. China has their hypersonic missiles. But America cannot figure out how to make a hypersonic nuclear missile, right? Or anything, right? Or thus become like unto us. As you become just easy to beat. It's nothing. That the Houthis, these people who are uneducated, live out in the dust, out in the desert, who's basically these nothing people, can defeat you? Wow, that's crazy. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, right? And the grave just means the hole, right? Which means hell, and hell is just the hole in the ground. It's not a burning place that you burn forever, but it's talking about your hope, your kingdom, your crown, your rulership is brought down to the grave. It is dead, right? Your rulership is dead, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread. See? That cankerworm, the worm is spread under thee, and the worm cover thee, right? So hey, you're just dead. Your whole, because that's what covers dead people, right? The worms, things. Your whole Edomite empire is dead, and now you're just covered in worms, man. Decay. It's starting to decay. The wisdom is being taken away from Teman, man. It's being taken away. The wise out of Edom, man. Right? Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 6. How ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, right? And the Lord said he's coming to visit you. The Lord said also weep and howl, you rich men, right? We're dealing with the international bankers, right? You small hatters, right? You world bankers, right? The ones who control everything, right? And they may set up some token Jake that's supposed to be a world banker, but I guarantee his lineage still goes back to these these Edomites, man. He's just a chocolate-covered Edomite, right? They know what they're doing. It says, it's at hand, so the Lord's coming to visit you. It shall come as a desolation from the Almighty, and the Almighty, right, dealing with the Most High, right? Alashajah, right, because Almighty goes into Alashajah, right? Right? Demon-like power, man. The Lord's going to bring the pain, man, so to speak. It says, therefore shall all hands be feeble and every man's heart melt, right? That's going back into La'ab, your mind. The Lord's going to take away the wisdom out of Teman, right? Your mind is going to melt. It's basically, like they say in the world, you have a brain fart, and that's basically ultimately what they're having. They don't know how to get the Houthis and the other rebels and the different sects of different rebels that's out there, and how to control it, right? How to stop them, right? Their mind is just melting, right? And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, right? Right? Eminem said, sorry, Doc, but I've been crazy. Been calling men ladies. No, the Lord, the Most High, been calling men ladies, man. You know what I mean? It says, shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, man. That's the most High call men ladies, man. So you're nothing, right? They shall be amazed one at another. Hey, they're out there. Wait a minute. No, I can't believe this is happening. And so now they're out there that they can't agree on the basis of things of how to accomplish how to be a guard unto these merchant ships who they're supposed to be protecting. So they're just saying, hey, forget it. We'll just go all the way around and we'll just tax the people more, right? Hey, since we got to go around, which you've been going around for forever, and it never changed the prices before, but now all of a sudden, you so-called had a shortcut, but now that shortcut is being, what do you call it? Hindered, right? It's being hindered. Now the prices got to go up because you have to go around, right? Which is going to affect the stock market, affect this, affects that, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. Which, a turn, you're going to bring in the MOTB. This is all, Hey, if they're not controlling it, they're going to use it though. They said never let a crisis go to waste, right? So whether they're in control of it or not in control of it, they're never going to let a crisis go to waste. This is their chance to manipulate the people. And now you have to get these things, and now we have to do this, and now you have to do that, and now we need a digital ID, and now we need this, so we know, now we have to see how much product that you're using because of the pollution. Meanwhile, the ship takes some type of oil or gas or whatever to ship it there, right? Right? Might need to make a Tesla ship, right? Where they're really gonna charge you, right? Never mind. One amazed at one another, their faces shall be as flames, right? And, hey, they're getting defeated, man. Ships are burning. They're getting tossed around, right? Matter of fact, let's skip down because that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, because it says something about no man should take them up, right? No man gather them, right? So it says, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14, and it shall be as a chase roll, right? So you're gonna get chased out of the earth, Esau, real soon, right? And as a sheep that no man taketh up, see? So you're gonna be as a sheep that no man taketh up. No one's gathering you. No one's gonna bring you in. No one's gonna give you that shelter. Everybody's gonna say, "Hey, yeah, we know who you are. You're the Edomite. You're the one who's been. You're the one who has become weak as us. You're the one who's been given the earth and the world turmoil, and we're supposed to look at you like you're this angelic being, right? Satan has transformed himself into an angel of light, but the real light is being shined upon you. And the real light is showing that, no, you're the devil. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of. You are the devil who's trying to pretend to be an angel of light. And we're going to shine that light on you, Esau, Edom, and them small hatters. That's why anybody who's, anybody that's, tenuous or whatever, however that word goes, anyone who's close to being a part of the Israelis or the U.S., they have problems with you, right? So you should be as a chase row and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and that's ultimately what's happening right now. The Houthis, the Hamas, all these people, even Iran, those are their own people. The only one who's not taken up upon his own people is going to be Gog of Magog, right? Which the Lord told him to protect Iran, right? The Persians. He said that it's his job to protect the Persians. So even though he's an Edomite, the Most High set it up that he's going to protect. He's going to be a guard unto them, right? So it says, turn to his own people and flee everyone to his own land. And that's ultimately, those things are happening on a small scale now, but it's going to be a major level real soon. It says everyone that is found, right? Yeah, see? Everyone that shall be found Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them. See, and that's ultimately what they're doing. And everyone that's joined unto them, they say, hey, whatever ship is joined unto U.S. or Israel, we're gonna light that ship up. But if it's anybody else, if it's Russia or somebody else or Iran, we're gonna lightly, get a little money out of them. But they're gonna make it through to their destination unscathed, unharmed, right? But anything else that's joined unto them, everyone that is joined unto them, right, unto the U.S., unto the Israelis, shall fall by the sword. So hey, your vessels and all these different things, and even your military, your country, your rulership is all going to fall by the sword. Thus saith the Lord. And ultimately, the ultimate sword is the ICBM missiles and the laser beam from the chariots. So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakal Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, the men out there in the four winds preaching the truth in sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom, to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence and a blah, blah, blah.